Alright, today I want to take a look at the wrench sets from Hyper Tough. Here you have the 15-piece combination wrench set, and we have the 7-piece ratcheting wrench set. You get a 5-year limited warranty, and this is the metric, and this is a metric as well. This one is comparable to the tekton in terms of what you get as far as the numbers. You get from 8 all the way to 25. 8 through 19 is continuous. There are no skips. Then you get 21, 22, and 25. On the tekton, you get a 19, 20, 21, and 22. So instead of the 25, you get a 20 on the tekton. Now, I'm only comparing that as far as what you get in terms of the sizes. The tekton look to be a little longer than these. I wasn't even thinking about that when I got them, and as you can see, this one is kind of short. This is the number 8, and I obviously prefer the longer ones, but sometimes you'll be fine with the short ones anyways, depending on what you're doing. So that's the main difference, the 25 and the length of the wrenches. So far I just use the 10 and I just use the 18 to fix a knob on the charger, called battery charger. So that's the first time I've ever used an 18, but it came in handy, so that's pretty nice. And I just wanted to take a look at both of these because they've been getting some pretty decent reviews. And to start off, let's take a look at the ratcheting set. If you look in the back here, let me see if I can get a close-up. This is actually made in Taiwan, this set. So you get 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. The set I had before was the one here that I put on my own mod or piece here, except for the number 7. This one didn't come with the 7. This is actually a 6-piece Craftsman set that it is made in China, but as you can see, these are pretty long compared to both of these other ones. So we'll take a look at that in a second. Let me put this mess back here. 10, 7, 6. There we go. All right. So let's start with these. Let me get the biggest one just to make it easier to see. So you do have numbers on both sides. They're very easy to read, as you can see. And then the plating is really smooth. That's the open end. This is the box end. And there's a little bit of an opening here, so you may be able to get that snap ring out, or whatever the clip on there is. If I get the let me see, the 14 here on the Craftsman, you can see that this is sealed. There's no way for you to get in there. So let me see, this is what it sounds like. So far they look very well made. The only difference is that they are definitely shorter. As you can see, this is a 16th and this is a 14, the biggest one I have for the Craftsman, and that's pretty long, which I do like the length of those. So just to give you an idea, let me go here. The Craftsman, it's about, from the longest point, 8 3/4 inches, and the Hyper Tough, we're looking at about 7 1/4, or just a little bit under that. Let's look at the other side here. You're looking at about 195, 5 millimeters in length for the 16, and the 14 of the Craftsman, that's going to be about 222 millimeters. So that's a pretty nice length there. That's just something I missed when I was looking at them. You know, I was more into trying to get something that would work. But nevertheless, it depends on what you're doing again. So that's what those look like. Here is the name. So the print is very, very good on these. Chrome vanadium, and then you can see they're very straight, which I forgot to show you here for the most part. This one has a slight bend on it, just a tiny bit. Now let's take a look at the 14. Yeah, that's pretty straight. And that's the opening. So I'm going to leave these here for now, because I want to go into these real quick, and then I'll measure some of the openings. So let's take a look. Let's take a look at the big one and the smallest, just to give you an idea. So that's what the print looks like. And that's what the print is on the smaller one. That's the open end. And the box end. So the writing on these seems a little rough, but it's very readable, so it's not a huge deal. One thing I want to mention before I forget, obviously the reason I wanted to get this is because of the wrench that you get, but this one's actually made in India. Right there, this set is made in India, similar to some of the Harbor Freight, but they don't have anything with almost no skips. I don't think they do. I'm just trying to remember. But anyway, so that's the reason I went ahead and tried this set, because for the price you do get a nice range of wrenches. Some of them have maybe a minor, I don't know what that is, it's like inside there, imperfection, but very, very minor. They're pretty straight for the most part. Or I should say, all of them seem to be straight, except for the couple of small ones. They seem to have a slight bend to them. So, but here, this is the 15. They do feel a little rounded on the edges. I was trying to use the 10 millimeter on the bolt on the fender just to test it out, and it did kind of slip, but it wasn't all the way in, so it just depends, because the 18 on the other piece, that's like a sheet metal screw or a nut, it works fine. So who knows, I haven't had to use them that much just yet, but yeah, now I got this one that I can use for whatever, if I ever need it. But I think I was looking for a 21 or 22 last time I was working on the suspension there. I couldn't get my ratchet in there, so that's why I also wanted to get this one, because of that. Now, I want to take a few measurements on here just to give you an idea. So we're going to go with the 14. We're going to get the 14 here and the 14 from the ratcheting. So the 14, oh, I should say that the Craftsman, this is the Chinese set. It's a 6-piece set that I got a few years ago. So I'm just going to measure the middle here. So we got 14.17, and this is the ratcheting, roughly the middle, 14.2, and the non-ratcheting we got 14.2, depending on where you get it. So it's very close, 14.1. Let me do that again. 14.2 on the ratcheting. Yep. And 14.15, 14.6, 14.12 on the top. So they're very close. I don't see a huge difference. Let me get another one here, just random number that we can measure. This is 14. Next one is 13. Let's do that. 13. These numbers here are a little hard to see on the angle because of the light, but as you can see, the holder works pretty well. So 13 there, and we'll go with the 13 over here. So again, ratcheting. You can see that the finish on the Taiwanese ratcheting is much better than the finish on the Indian made, but it's still pretty close. Not 100%, but this is the used Craftsman, so you can see it's faded a little bit. So let's go ahead and do the open end here. Just trying to keep it the same, roughly in the middle there. 13.16. Let's do that. 13.2. 13.25. 13.2 millimeters on the Craftsman. Again, the Hyper Tough non-ratcheting, 13.2, and the ratcheting is actually 13.1, so it's even better on the ratcheting. So it depends on which one you get, I guess. But still, we're within the same range, so that's just to give you an idea of that. But let me see what else we got here. I'm trying to think as I do this to see what else I can show you here while I'm doing it. This is the 15. 16. Got them all on the wrong spot. There we go. Alright, so that's that. Oh, I know what I want to do. I want to show you the length on the smallest one here. So this is the 8. This is the 13. The back. Okay, that's my number 8 here. And this is number 8 on the Craftsman. And, well, this is the number 10 on the ratcheting set. So you can see, obviously, that's a lot bigger. So, the Craftsman definitely has a nice length to it. So we'll go back to that again, and let me do the 10, since that's that one we are gonna be able to see a lot better with all 3. that would be right here. So 10 non-ratcheting, 10 ratcheting here. That's almost the same length. And the Craftsman number 10. So that's a lot longer. Actually, I still need one that's a little longer so I don't burn my fingers when I'm working the back on the cam sensor. And so I hope that gives you an idea of what you get in terms of the sizes and the actual length of the wrenches. So far they seem pretty okay. I haven't had to use them much because I just got them this weekend, but I think for occasional use they'll be fine. And these, they seem to work okay too. But so far I've been using the longer ones anyway, so it's just nice to have a nice range of them, because some of them you're not even going to use every day. So there you go. There you have it. That's what the Hyper Tough 7-piece ratcheting wrenches and their 15-piece combination wrench set. This is definitely half of what the tekton will cost you, but again, this one's made in India and theirs is made in Taiwan, I believe. So it depends on what you're doing or what you want to get. But there you go. That's what the few wrenches are on Walmart that I have, or from Walmart.